My name is Punit Dhillon, and I'm the President and CEO of OncoSec Medical. OncoSec is a company focused on developing novel applications to treat solid tumors and other skin cancer indications. We started the company because we felt there was a large unmet need in skin cancer specifically, where skin cancer rates continue to grow enormously, but the current approaches available for these patients that experience skin cancer are unfortunately have a very poor side effect profile, or they're very expensive. So we feel that we're a company focused on addressing a very large unmet need, and we have a very novel application for treating skin cancer. So we have two approaches to electroporation. One we refer to as immunopulse, where we are taking an immunotherapy approach and we're delivering a DNA-based plasmid encoding for a cytokine. In our case, we're encoding for IL-12, which is a protein that's found in the body. What we're doing by delivering this protein, or having this protein produced by the cell, is having the cytokine act as a communication or sounding an alarm for the immune system to kick in once a foreign body is detected. So we are basically disrupting the immune system and breaking that tolerance for it to recognize something foreign. That's one therapy. It's called immunopulse. The other approach we're using electroporation is referred to as neopulse. And here we're taking a chemotherapeutic and delivering it using electroporation. In our case, we're using bleomycin, which is a cytotoxic agent. By delivering it locally and using electroporation, there's a very good synergy between both the agent and the delivery mechanism, and we have this apoptotic effect of these cells that end up getting delivered bleomycin, or the chemotherapeutic, where if it's cancerous and it's rapidly dividing, the agent ends up disrupting the DNA, but it leaves the healthy cells intact. In both of these approaches, either using immunopulse or using neopulse, we get a very nice targeted effect where we're killing the cancer cells but leaving the healthy cells intact, thereby delivering much more safer treatments and potentially improving the quality of life for these patients. Electroporation is using electrical fields to deliver these millisecond pulses and open up the cell membrane, while temporarily allowing an agent to much more effectively be uptaken by the cell. So we have the ability, by using these electrical fields, to create these temporary pores, and the agent moves into the cell much more smoothly. In fact, by using electroporation, we are able to see an uptake of over 4,000-fold of the increase of that movement of the agent into the cell compared to no electroporation. So in theory, what we're getting here is the ability to enhance the potency of an agent and reduce the toxicity, because we're able to use smaller doses and have a much better uptake by the cell. We're focusing on skin cancer-based applications in immunopulse. That's the program that we're currently developing in the clinic. In that program, we are focusing on metastatic melanoma, we're focusing on Merkel cell carcinoma, and cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. Melanoma everyone has heard of, however, the other two indications that we're focusing on are much more neglected and unmet areas, because there is very few treatment options available for patients that experience CTCL, cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, or Merkel cell. And in fact, Merkel cell patients, there is not even an approved therapy available for these patients. So we're very pleased to be working in an area with such an unmet need, with these ultra-orphan type of indications. And we have been excited about what our trials have shown so far in terms of the adoption of this technology for this patient population. In the oncology market, I feel it's a very noisy and competitive area because there's a lot of different technologies out there and a lot of different approaches. I feel that OncoSec using electroporation and this DNA-based approach or a chemotherapeutic approach and having such a targeted therapy, it cuts through the noise of these different approaches. And I think we address the two challenges we address most significantly are that our therapies are potentially safer and they potentially offer a better quality of life compared to the current approaches available. In terms of efficacy of either the NeoPulse program or the ImmunoPulse program, I think we have demonstrated so far that both different approaches reveal a very strong efficacy and safety profile for these indications that we're focusing on. Specifically on ImmunoPulse, our phase 1 trial, which was done in 24 patients at the Moffitt Cancer Center, revealed an objective response of 53%. So I think I mentioned this is a targeted therapy. By applying a targeted therapy, we should see a targeted or local response. So you see a very good response in the phase 1 trial where we had over 90% of the tumors that we treated locally had some sort of durable response. But the effect that you really want to see from a therapy that's like an immunotherapy approach that we take is what does this targeted response have on a systemic effect, or what does it have on a distant lesion that's not treated by the therapy. And that's where we saw 53% of the patients that had metastatic disease have a response to distant lesions, or lesions that are on the other side of their body, for instance. And we had 3 patients that had 100% response, so about 15% of the patients had 100% response. So we've been very pleased with that kind of efficacy, and that phase 1 trial showed that the therapy works. We're trying to repeat and show the durability of that in our phase 2 program. And we look forward to discussing interim data on a subset of the patients before the end of the year on Merkel cell carcinoma and metastatic melanoma. And it will be the first time we'll be sharing this data from Merkel cell because it's never been used in that patient population before. We have our website, which is www.oncosec.com. And we also have quite a lot of activity on our OncoSec Live platform, which is our social media platform, where we are in direct communication and constantly updating people and responding to inquiries. We obviously respond to emails, so you can email the company at investors@oncosec.com. And you can also call the company directly at 855-OncoSec, and we'll be happy to return any inquiries that anybody has.